Hey guys. I wanted to do another video. Um I finally got the time and I finally feel like I got enough sleep. I sound very, my voice was cracking my last video, but I made sure I had gotten enough sleep and all that. I wanted to do another piercing video. It's a piercing video that I kind of promised you guys during my last videos about my tongue piercing and my belly button piercing. And I want to talk about this piercing. This is a piercing that I had done about, let's say, almost 5 years ago, but it didn't work out as way as planned. Unfortunately, I had to take it out because all that stuff, but I'm going to get into detail of that. The piercing that I wanted to talk about is actually my nose piercing. Okay, as you can see, I don't have my nose piercing anymore. Um, Actually, when I had it done, if you actually go on my Facebook and just look at, my profile pictures and things, you'll see like a little dot right here on the nose. And so right now, this is just a little, I don't know if you guys could see it. It's like there's a little hole. This is where the piercing actually was. I'm sorry, it's a little fuzzy, but right where my finger is, this is where it was. So it's just a little scar there for now. And what happened was, the reason why I took it out was I basically like grow out of it. I didn't really want, like too much on my face, meaning that when I got my tongue pierced, I didn't just want to look, like some kind of I would go like this, some kind of streetwalker and all that kind of stuff. And but I see other people, with their nose piercings and with their tongue piercing. And I took mine out last year, early 2015. I took mine out, and it's been out for like almost a year. So I was trying to cover it up with whatever I can do, like cocoa butter and other things like that, for, anyone that viewed this video that has any tips on how you can really, cover, your piercing holes to where they look natural. Just comment down below. I'll be sure to read them because I'm a little curious to see if there's anything that you can use. Now, the other part is that I am tempting to redo this piercing. I'm tempting to get my nose redone because after when I took it out and I saw that everybody else has theirs, I was very upset, very bummed. I go like, I already went through all of that, and then I ended up taking it out because it wouldn't heal. Which I'll tell you the little story about, what happened, like the healing process and stuff. But I'm tempting to get another one, and I may get another one. I may say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go to the piercing shop, and I'm gonna get my nose redone. But the problem is, preventing me from doing it right now is, the job where I'm working at right now, which I do retail, and they really don't allow, facial piercings, much less tongue piercings. So okay, so right now I'm going to go into detail about my nose piercing. For the beginning of the story, I been wanting my nose pierced for a minute. Right after when I had my belly button done, I wanted to, get a nose piercing because I see a lot of females had it. At the time, I think what Christina Aguilera and Alyssa Milano, she's the actress that played on Charm. I remember she had one. I said, oh, that looks really, really cute. And I started getting like a little curiosity, and I wanted to get one. But at the time I was 18, so I was a little nervous because, number one, you worry about your face a lot. No female doesn't want, no female, no male, doesn't want, anything to, mess up their face. Because to me, I feel like I have a very pretty face, and I didn't want to, to mess that up because I have a naturally pretty face. I go like, how would it look when I have a ring into it? But I figured that, if I get it done and I take care of it the way I should, it shouldn't be no problem. It shouldn't be no effect because it's just my nose, like right on this tip here. So it shouldn't even be a problem. So, I believe I was about 21 or 22 when I got it done. It was in the spring. It could have been in the spring of 2012, I believe. It was the spring of 2012 I got it done. So I was about 21, 22 years old at the time. And I got it done at a local place. At that time, I was living in northwest of Maryland, so it was a mall really close to where I was. I'm not sure of the name. I believe it's the same people that did my belly button, so I can't remember the name, but it was really local for where I used to live at the time. And I went right in the mall again. It was like I was ready to work myself up for it. My mom actually took me to the mall herself, and we went to the tattoo shop, paid the money, and read the little warning what could happen, because they give you a little piece of paper every time you have a piercing, saying that this is your decision, you have to do it. It's just some legal documents just in case if you like jump up and sue them, and just give you a little warning that your body may reject the piercing and that kind of stuff. So I signed that, and there was a woman, she had did it. It was this young girl, like not my height, but this young girl, and she took me in the room. I sat on a bench, and what she did first, she got all the equipment together, what was needed, and she took a marker, and she asked me which one, which side of my nostril I wanted done, and I told her on my right side, because I think this is my good side here. When I smile, like, that's my good side. So I got it done on that side. About then, she cleaned my nose, and she was getting ready to do the actual piercing. Now, from the scale to 1 to 10, I would say that pain was about a 7 or 8. I would clearly say that was the first piercing that I require as painful. I mean, as I was explaining in my other videos, my belly button wasn't painful and my tongue piercing wasn't painful, but even the size of my ears right here, they weren't painful. But that nose was like the first thing I actually felt. Like when she put that needle in, I was like, and it was so bad. Like there was like water coming out of my eyes and all that. And I'm like, oh my God, like holy shit, that hurt. But alongside that, she had put a surgical steel, nose ring in there, and I don't think I still have the nose ring. I'll see what kind of nose rings I have, because like I said, I don't have it anymore. So after that, it was I left. There was a throbbing feeling, like you could tell that something is on your nose, like a throbbing pain. And what I remember, it lasted about a day or two. The next day it was swollen, as usual when you do a piercing the day before. And I bought some Acticare products for it. I got some Bactine and iodine, and I took care of it 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night, until that time. Okay, so about a week, what I remember, it wasn't really that bad. It seemed like it was in the process of healing. And once again, my dumbass, I'm just gonna say it, my dumbass, got into the anxious feeling, just like my belly button, got into an anxious feeling of wanting to take that ring out and wanting to put something else in, because I want one of those rings where they curve and go right into your nose there, because that looked pretty bad to me. I want to put one of them rings in and curve like that. So what happened was, one afternoon I was fidgeting with it, and I shouldn't have done that. And that's my advice to you, is that please do not mess with your nose or any other piercings. Again, wait until it's healed, or talk to your piercer. They will let you know when it's healed and all that stuff. So I ended up taking the ring out, because what happened was my mother had we had went to these one of these jewelry booths, and I had gotten like three pairs of they're thin but they're 14 karat gold um nose rings. So I wanted to put one of them in there, and I was thinking, oh gosh, because my nose wouldn't heal. This was about I would say this was about like a month or so when I, actually took the ring that they first pierced me with out. And I took that out knowing that it wasn't all the way healed. And then I had the hardest time in my life taking one of those 14 karat nose rings in my nose. Like the way it's curved is a little difficult, taking it out and putting it in. I don't understand how girls could do it. If I get my nose pierced, I'm still not skilled for it. I wouldn't really know what to do. I might as well just stick with the curl where you could just put it in and go around like that. So, like I said, I had the hardest time. I ended up losing one. And then once, I got into, the second one because I lost one the other two. Um, and once I did that, it I was getting really frustrated, and I was like, oh, I want to put my surgical steel, the one that they pierced me with, back in my nose, because I was told that if you take out your piercing during the healing process, the hole will shrink and you won't be able to put that piercing or any other piercing in there, because your body will naturally heal. Whenever, if it's anywhere injuring your body will naturally heal. That's the natural body process. So I got frustrated. I took it when them two didn't work out. I tried to put the piercing back in where I first got it done. I couldn't do it whatsoever. I could not do it. I fumbled with it up to a point that I felt like crying. I had trouble. And my mom came home, and I was telling her, Mom, I'm having trouble with this nose ring. Can you take me back to, the tattoo place? So we drove to the tattoo place, and what I remember was the female was, no, it was actually the male that was there. And he was saying that the woman that did the piercing, that usually do the piercing, she wasn't there. And he said he would try to do it, so he sat there and looked at my nose, and he wasn't really sure what to do because he was not, he only does tattoos. He doesn't deal with piercing. So he said he would try to push it in, but it will, it will hurt like shit, literally. So, it was nothing left for me to do. I went home, and the only thing that I can do with the other two 14 karat rings, because they're really flexible. So I managed to stretch it out. Instead of that little curve, I ended up stretching out the hole and just sticking it right back in there. After, dealing with all that, my nose was, swollen. It bled a little. It was like really, really frustrating. Okay, so I remember having, only had like two 14 karat of those rings. What happened was it would get like really, really annoying. Like, for example, if I, ended up pulling it on a washcloth, it would snag. That because of the sharp ending of those 14 karat rings, it would snag, and that would hurt the living shit out of me. Or if it wasn't that, I could be sleeping 1 minute, and because I have to scratch out those rings, the ring would easily fall out my nose, and I wouldn't know it until the next morning. Then I'm rambling in the bed trying to find this little small piece of small piece of ring that I'm trying to find. And it was just a living nightmare experience. I wear those about like a year to 2 years. I even bought some more and just like stretched it out like the way it is. And for the first 2 years, it's just been a nightmare. Like, for example, my nose wouldn't heal correctly, probably because I messed it up during that time. And it just wouldn't heal. Like, it was like my body was just like rejecting the piercing. Like, everything else healed. My belly button healed at the time. I had a tongue piercing at the time, but my belly button healed at the time. And for some reason, this nose ring would not heal. And there was a time when I had a piercing, and I was talking to this guy at the time. I would meet up with him, and for the fact he had long dreads, so he had long dreads in his hair, and he would like kiss me, and all his dreads needed to do was to hit my nose where the little curve is, and just like that ring would snag, and it would literally come out, like it would be attached to his hair, and that was the worst fucking thing that could happen. That was the worst thing ever that could happen to me. And doing all the time that it wouldn't heal, doing all the time that I tried to put work on it, and I think there was a time where it was like it had a little hole. I had felt underneath my nose, and there was like a ball. It could be like a ball of infection, hitting underneath your skin. And I just said I didn't have it. Like I was like trying my best to like keep it, but from 2014 when I got my 2014 when I got my tongue pierced, I just decided that I'm just gonna like take it out and let it grow back natural, and go from there, because that was just one of the worst experience I ever had dealing with my nose. When I think about it, I just regret that I shouldn't have messed with it when I should, because the hole did shrink. And the rings that I was telling you about earlier, the rings, I ended up buying one of them, but the problem is it would go through this top part, but it wouldn't go through on the inside, because that hole was so small from all the times I was wearing those small rings, that it wouldn't fit in there. So I had to bend it and try to make it work, but it was like out a little bit, and it didn't look right, and I had to go to a point where I was just saying, I said, I'm done. I'm literally done with dealing with this piercing. I don't feel like dealing with it. I'd rather just, go ahead and just stick to my tongue ring, because, that qualifies as to, having a piercing on your face, and not to, run risk of, scarring of my nose or anything. I just took it out. So overall, that experience was not good. Not good for me. I don't know if I look back, I believe, for me, when I took out that piercing, instead of me just, leaving it in there, that's something that, I should have done when I look back and think about it. Yeah. So, like the advice, like overall, that's my story. So, the advice what I would give to you, as I said that, in my other two piercing videos, and I'm going to say it the third time, please do not take out any of your piercings. I don't know if some people like me are anxious about, other rings and all that other kind of stuff, but I advise you, please just take the time, let your body heal. If you're not sure how long it's supposed to heal, go to your piercer. If your piercer said, for example, okay, it takes about 6 months to heal, and you still not sure, just go back to him and her and just ask more questions before you do anything. Do not move anything, because I believe if you trouble it the least little bit, your body will start to reject the piercing. And when I think about my nose and how I went through with my belly button, I believe the same thing happened with my belly button, because I, messed up the process, or turned the process in another direction, because I was so anxious of taking it out and putting all kinds of rings in. So I advise you, do not do anything. Again, everybody heals really differently, but if you're sure that the piercing is healed, my advice to you is to go to your piercer shop and see if your piercer can take a look at it, just to make sure, let you know that it's already healed, that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that's the first thing. The second thing I would suggest is that I wouldn't really stick with those little small curve barbell rings. I would try to buy rings that are a little bit thicker, that are more thicker and big enough for your hole, especially when it heals. Don't buy them small ones, and especially don't buy those ones that that can easily like snag on your washcloth, or snag in your boyfriend's hair, like I was telling you about. And yeah, and that kind of thing. And again, just take care of it 3 times a day, morning, day, and night. If you know, have to blow your nose, just make sure it's clean, you know, around the area. Just make sure there's no infection. Again, if you want to get it done, if you live in a cool climate, like I live in 4 season weather, so if you live like in Florida or LA and it's warm, you can always get it done yearly. But my guess, if you live in 4 season weather like me, just have it done on, you know, on the warmer days. See, I didn't really want to get it done in the cold. That's why I got it done in the spring as soon as it started warming up, because I didn't want to catch cold in my nose or have my nose, you know, swollen like Pinocchio or some shit. So that, and that's basically it, what I can tell you about that. Let's see, if I'm just gonna wrap it up actually. Again, if I end up, you know, like missing anything, if you have any questions or comments that you would like to know about my experience, you can do so. You can let me know by writing down in the comments below. I'll try to answer them again as clearly as possible. Also, be sure to check out my other videos. My tongue piercing experience and my belly button piercing experience. For those of you that probably, you know, probably subscribe or already reviewed them whatsoever, you're welcome to do as many times as often as you like. If you have any questions about those, I'll be more than sure to answer them as, you know, as clearly as possible. Also, I thank you guys for watching. It's really hard for me to go back down like memory lane and all that kind of stuff, but I really, you know, wanted to share my experiences with this piercing. And like I said, I may get it done. I may get it done again, and I might end up making another video saying that, okay, I got this piercing again, and I might do it like day by day, so I can just give you guys, you know, a good clear view. It'll probably feel the same way. It probably not, because, you know, that hole is still there and that part is just basically numb. So it might not be as bad as it seems if I get it redone. It's just that I'm gonna learn, you know, not to rush the process. Let my body, you know, do the healing. I don't heal my body, but the body does the healing. So that type of thing. And again, guys, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.